Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, the world won't reward your intentions, it will reward your actions. Every day you wake up is another chance to choose progress over excuses, discipline over distractions, and growth over comfort. This is not the year to let your dreams collect dust. This is the year you make discomfort your training ground and use failure as feedback. You want a different life. Start making different decisions. Wake up with purpose, speak to yourself with belief, move with focus. You don't need more motivation. You need consistency. You need clarity. You need to see your future self so clearly that the pain of staying the same becomes unbearable. So this is your reminder. Talk less, do more. Complain less, build more. Quit wishing. Start working. Because in 2025, the only way to change your life is to change your habits, your thoughts, and your identity. Most people wake up every day and go through life on autopilot. They want success, they want change, but they don't know what they're aiming for. That's like getting in a car and driving without knowing the destination. You'll burn fuel, cover distance, but never arrive anywhere meaningful. Clarity is what separates achievers from daydreamers. It's the reason some people build empires while others just scroll through life, wondering where the time went. When you are crystal clear about what you want, why you want it, and who you must become to achieve it, everything changes. Clarity fuels focus. When you know your exact target, distractions lose their power. You stop wasting time on things that don't align with your purpose. You stop saying yes to people or projects that take you off track. You begin to act with intention. Every minute becomes an investment in your future instead of an escape from your present. And clarity isn't just about setting goals. It's about creating a vision that pulls you forward. You must be able to see your future self. What they wear, how they talk, how they walk into a room, how they handle stress, how they treat others, how they think. The more detailed and alive that version of you becomes in your mind, the more you naturally begin to shift your habits, thoughts, and decisions to match that identity. Without clarity, life feels random. With clarity, life becomes a mission. Every struggle, every sacrifice, even your failures start to make sense because you know exactly where you're headed and why it's worth it. Motivation is a spark, but discipline is the fire that keeps burning long after the spark is gone. Motivation comes and goes like waves. It's emotional, it's fragile. One bad mood, one setback, one lazy day, and motivation can vanish. But discipline shows up even when you don't feel like it. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel, it asks what needs to be done. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who always feel inspired. They're the ones who have trained themselves to act even when they feel tired, uninspired, or uncertain. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They create momentum by showing up anyway, every single day. Discipline is waking up when your alarm rings, not when your body feels like it. It's going to the gym even when your energy is low. It's sitting down to write, to study, to build, even when you'd rather scroll or sleep. It's saying no to the easy path and yes to the hard choice because you know where the hard path leads. And here's the truth. Discipline isn't something you're born with, it's a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The first few reps are always hard, but over time you rewire your brain. You start trusting yourself. You begin to see that every disciplined choice is a vote for your future self. You become someone who doesn't break promises to themselves. That's powerful. You don't need to feel fired up to take action, you just need to take the first step, because action creates emotion, doing creates feeling, and when discipline takes the lead, motivation often follows. You may think you're in control of your thoughts, habits, and decisions, but in truth, your environment plays a massive, often invisible role in who you become. The people you talk to, the content you consume, the places you spend your time. These things quietly program your mind every day. If you're surrounded by negativity, laziness, or constant complaining, Don't be surprised if your motivation fades and your standards drop. If your circle doesn't believe in growth, they'll mock your goals. If they don't challenge themselves, they won't understand why you do. Before long, you'll start settling too, not because you chose to, but because you've absorbed the mindset of the people around you. Energy is contagious. Mindsets are contagious. You can absorb defeat or hunger, victimhood or responsibility, weakness or strength, just by proximity. That's why it's essential to curate your environment with intention, not just convenience. Be brutally honest about who and what you allow into your daily life. Follow people online who uplift and educate you. Fill your space with reminders of who you want to become. Spend time with those who are ahead of you, not to compete, but to learn, to stretch, to raise your standards. And it's not just about people, it's about systems. Keep your workspace clean. Keep your phone organized. Keep your schedule aligned with your priorities, because chaos in your environment leads to chaos in your focus. When your environment supports your vision, you don't have to fight for progress. It becomes natural. You rise because everything around you reinforces growth. You evolve because your surroundings demand it. Perfection is a trap that silently kills momentum. It convinces you that unless something is flawless, it isn't worth doing at all. But life doesn't reward the perfect, it rewards the consistent. The truth is, you'll never feel fully ready. You'll never have the perfect plan. You'll never execute everything exactly the way you imagined. And that's okay. Because success doesn't come from perfect execution, it comes from persistent progress. Every small step forward is progress. Every mistake you learn from is progress. Every day you show up, even if you don't hit all your goals, is still progress. Too often, people start strong but then quit at the first sign of imperfection. One missed workout, one bad decision, one off day, and they throw everything away. But progress isn't about never falling. It's about always getting back up. Think of it this way. If you were climbing a mountain and slipped back a few feet, would you abandon the entire climb? No, you'd catch your footing and keep moving upward. The same applies to your goals. You might lose focus for a day. You might relapse into old habits, but that doesn't mean you failed. It just means you're human. What defines your journey is what you do next. Momentum is built through action, not perfection. The compounding power of small wins day after day is what eventually creates massive transformation. A single page read each night becomes dozens of books over time. A 10-minute workout each morning becomes a strong, energized body. One mindful breath a day becomes emotional resilience. And don't underestimate the power of showing up imperfectly. When you do the hard thing even on your worst day, you teach yourself something powerful. You are capable, even when conditions aren't ideal. You become the kind of person who finishes what they start not because it's easy, but because it matters. Your words are not just sounds, they are seeds. Every sentence you speak about yourself is planting something in your subconscious mind. Over time, those seeds grow into beliefs, and those beliefs silently direct your choices, your habits, your reactions, and even your identity. That's why it's so critical to guard your language, especially when you talk about yourself. You may think you're joking when you say, "I'm always late," "I'm so lazy," "I can't do this," or "I'm terrible at everything." But your mind isn't laughing. It's listening, it's recording, and it's starting to treat those words as commands. The most powerful shift you can make is to start speaking life into your goals, your struggles, and your future. Instead of saying, "This is too hard," say, "This is making me stronger." Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," say, "I'm growing into the best version of me." Even when you don't fully believe it yet, speak it anyway. Why? Because your language can lead your belief. Greatness doesn't begin with success. It begins with a decision to speak differently, even when your reality hasn't caught up. Winners speak like winners before they win. They affirm what they want to become. They use their words to build inner strength, not feed self-doubt. This doesn't mean you ignore reality or lie to yourself. It means you choose to speak with intention. You recognize that words have the power to shape your energy, your confidence, and your focus. The words "I can," "I will," "I am capable," "I am disciplined," "I am focused" don't just sound good. They train your nervous system to rise higher, and this isn't just about affirmations. It's also about the tone you use in your everyday speech. Are you complaining or declaring? Are you tearing yourself down or building yourself up? Because every time you speak, you are either reinforcing the future you want or the future you fear. Comfort feels good, but it's a silent killer of dreams. It whispers, "You've done enough for today. Take it easy, try tomorrow," and before you know it, days turn into weeks and your goals gather dust. The truth is, nothing extraordinary has ever been built inside the comfort zone. Progress demands resistance. Growth requires discomfort. Just like your muscles don't grow without lifting weight, your character doesn't grow without facing challenge. The hard moments, the awkward conversations, the difficult decisions, the early mornings, the lonely nights, these are the very moments that shape you. Most people live in cycles of comfort, same habits, same excuses, same results. They avoid risk, they play small, but the life you want, the impact, the freedom, the strength sits on the other side of that discomfort you're avoiding. When you choose what's easy now, life becomes hard later. But when you choose what's hard now, life becomes easier later. The discipline to endure the temporary pain is what separates winners from watchers, and here's the twist. The more you practice discomfort, the less uncomfortable it feels. You start to crave the stretch. You stop seeing fear as a signal to run and start seeing it as a signal to lean in. You begin to feel more alive, not because life got easier, but because you got stronger. Discomfort is not your enemy. It's your trainer. It's testing you, sharpening you, preparing you for the next level.